you ever feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Like even when you're on top, there's this constant low-level stress reminding you that you could always be doing more. I had the straight hair, straight A's, straightforward, and okay, not to brag. Okay, maybe to brag a little bit. I got straight A's throughout high school. Last year, my lowest mark was 93%, and I got 100% in pre-calc 12. But honestly, getting straight A's freaking sucks. It started out innocently. In grade 4, while those around me got all A's or maybe some B's, I had gotten mostly C pluses and even one C. Of course, my parents were furious. The next year, the teacher had us do goal setting. One of the goals we could pick from was try your best. And I thought, maybe I'll try that. So I did. I tried my absolute best, went beyond what the teacher had asked and worked as hard as I could. All in, over-explaining every concept and putting work outside of school. It was fun sometimes, like making a graphic novel. I poured my heart and soul into that. And at the end of grade 5, wow, did it pay off. Top of my class, teacher's favorite, etc. Who knew that if you tried hard, you could do well? From then on, I decided to try my best in everything I did. That worked fine in elementary school. Sure, I took quite a bit of time to finish stuff, but I learned, improved. Maybe I can just keep working harder. And then high school came. Things started to get difficult. I was still pushing myself to do more beyond what the teacher had asked, but it was more effort. The expectations got higher. I can't just write an extra page for them to be impressed. I gotta write 22 pages, each with spectacular quality. In high school, it wasn't just about doing well, it was about being the best. The focus became more on getting good grades. Universities were watching. I mean, no pressure. Just the rest of your life and eternal happiness is at stake, but no big deal. Just, I have to do well. There was no other choice. People know me for having good grades, so I have to at least live up to that expectation, because if I don't, how embarrassing.
I thought you were smart.
So I spent more time on everything. Yes, I wanted to do my best and be proud of my work, but it's more than that. I have to get the teacher to like my work. I need the external validation. My work is trash if they don't like it, even if I spent a lot of precious time on it. I can't just be good, because I've always been the best. When success is expected, there's no room for mediocrity. And there were so many people around me, it was hard not to compare myself.
Oh, you're not taking 5 AP courses while training for the Olympics and curing cancer in your spare time? Slacker.
What once seemed impressive? Not anymore. Anyone can get good grades. But are you also competing in 3 sports, president of 3 clubs, and head of student council? Then there are those people off to prestigious international competitions. Like, we get it. You're good at ping pong. Did you have to compete in Argentina? But I need to catch the university's attention, or else bye-bye, I'm gonna be a failure. I've tried so hard before. I can't just stop now. I need to do better and spend more time and try harder. What also didn't help was that I have a slow processing speed that I didn't realize at the time, meaning it just naturally takes me longer to do things. And as classes got harder and assignments got bigger and homework and tests got more frequent, it became kind of a lot. Yeah, there are parent, teacher, university expectations, and the other students around me, but the biggest expectation came from myself. So what started out as just wanting to try my best became a toxic mindset of never enough. And that causes for some minor setbacks. The problem with getting straight A's is the perfectionism that comes with it. I started out just wanting to do well, but it became more than that. It was like I was stuck on this treadmill where I was always running but never actually getting anywhere. And the worst part, I thought if I just put in a little more effort, it'll be perfect. But perfect doesn't exist, and I was chasing something I could never catch. I spent hours on assignments that should have taken 30 minutes just because I felt like it had to be flawless, obsessing over the littlest details. It wasn't just about doing well, it was about being the best, not letting anyone down, especially myself. But that pressure, it was eating at me without even realizing. So I kept working and working. Perfectionism started eating up my time like a hungry monster. Rewriting essays, triple checking homework, studying for so many hours. But at what cost? For me, it meant less sleep, and the ups and downs of my mental health became a regular thing. I remember nights where I'd get maybe 5 hours of sleep, if I was lucky. I thought if I just pushed a little harder, I could keep it all together. But the truth is, perfectionism doesn't come with an on and off switch. And when running on fumes, everything felt 10 times harder. I'd lie in bed, my mind racing with everything I had to do, doubting myself, wondering if I was good enough, and stressing over whether everything was perfect. Spoiler alert, it never was. It's funny though, when you're in the thick of it, you don't really see what's happening. I just kept going, thinking I could handle it all, but it was starting to break me down. Bit by bit. To be honest, it was all kind of a blur. I began to enjoy going out with friends less because I felt like I needed to be as productive as possible. And it wasn't just school. I took on everything. Clubs, theater, YouTube, tap dance, school courses, online courses, student council, part-time job, volunteering. I felt like I had to be involved in everything, be the best at everything. And when I got home at 9 o'clock or later, that really affected me. How was I supposed to balance everything? You know what happens when you take on too much? You start to crack under pressure. I started saying no to everything that wasn't school related. My friends would invite me out and I'd say, maybe next time, knowing damn well that next time wasn't gonna happen.
Hey Jay, wanna go out?
Did you book an appointment?
What?
I said, did you book an appointment at least 2 weeks ahead of time?
No?
Then I don't have time for you, peasant. Okay, I swear, I wasn't that mean, but scheduling stuff with friends was hard. I always thought, once this is done, I'll start doing better, living life more. But there was always some other excuse why I couldn't do the things I wanted to do. In my mind, getting a lower grade wasn't an option. There was this constant voice saying,
you can't slack off now. You're the straight A student. This is who you are.
But that mindset, it's exhausting. It's like carrying a weight that gets heavier and heavier until you can't take another step. I was always stressed, always feeling like I wasn't doing good enough, even when I was giving everything I had. Low-level stress became my constant companion. Every minute had to count, every moment had to be productive. There was no time for hobbies, no reading for fun, no space to just breathe. And you know what? It ironically started taking a toll on my grades. My head was so foggy and I couldn't focus in class anymore. When running on 5 hours of sleep, of course I wasn't gonna do the best on my tests. I kinda knew that in the back of my mind, but it was always overpowered by a drive to keep getting good grades all the time. But the good grades caused even higher expectations. I remember for the mid-semester mark in math, I had somehow gotten 100%, and it technically was 100.2% because of bonus question. And of course, I was super happy, but that caused me to feel more pressure. So for the next test, I studied day and night. But when it came to the test, I was a nervous wreck because I felt like this was the deciding moment on whether I was good enough or not. All my hard work had come down to this one moment, my future, everything. I even got 7 hours of sleep that night. But I just wasn't feeling the best and I couldn't think straight. Anxiety was creeping up on me and I knew I was super slow and I had to do the test fast. Faster, what are you doing? Why are you so slow? I got stuck on this one question and I kept trying to solve it, but I was so stuck and I felt like I knew the rest of the material, but I got so fixated on that question I didn't have time to double check any of my other work and I remember going down to my other class and apologized profusely to my teacher for almost missing the entire class. Tears in my eyes and strolling down my cheeks. I ended up getting like a 60 on that test. And I know 60 may seem like an okay grade for some of you, and I'm being over dramatic, but coming from a quote-unquote top student that had gotten 100%, I was devastated. I couldn't afford to do any less. I was burning out and I didn't even realize it. Every day felt like just a battle to get through, and at my lowest point, I was breaking down daily. I no longer enjoyed what I used to. I got more easily annoyed by my family, even when they were just trying to help. I felt like I was losing control, constantly exhausted, and felt like my head was empty because I didn't have the energy to think straight. I got mad at myself more easily for not maximizing every minute, every second. And it sucks because even though I knew I was so tired, I just had to keep showing up every day and pretending to be fine. But I wasn't. I was just going through the motions. Then as soon as I was by myself, I'd cry. Cry in the school bathroom, cry when I get home, cry myself to sleep. Even my parents were worried seeing my state, but it seemed like nothing could stop me from doing this. That's when I realized maybe this wasn't sustainable. Perchance, the constant need to be perfect, to always get those good grades, it was breaking me down, not building me up, and just maybe it wasn't worth it. So I wrote a poem about it, a way to make sense of what I was feeling. It was like my mind was screaming for help, but I didn't know how to ask for it. This wasn't how life was supposed to be. I knew something had to change, so I made a promise to myself to start trying, really trying, to get 8 hours of sleep every night. It wasn't easy, but I knew I needed to take care of myself before anything else. And you know what? It helped. Getting enough sleep started to help me feel a lot better. The grind set didn't disappear overnight, but I was learning to let go. Then summer came, and now I'm not exactly sure what's next. I'm still figuring it out and trying my best not to fall back into old habits. I don't have all the answers, but I do know this. Burnout isn't worth it. No grade, no achievement is worth sacrificing your well-being. So if you're feeling the pressure, know that it's okay to step back, take a breath, and take care of yourself. We're all human, and sometimes that's enough. I'm saying this to myself as much as I am to you. I'm going to try my best to not burn out. It's hard to find that balance, but I'll try, allowing myself to be imperfect sometimes. And maybe we'll figure this out together. Looking back, I was stuck in a perfectionist mindset where everything had to be just right or else it wasn't good enough. But perfectionism isn't about being your best. It's about being afraid to be anything less than perfect. And that fear is paralyzing. It stops you from living, enjoying the little things, from learning and growing. You don't have to be the best all the time. It's okay to get a B. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to take a break. Your worth isn't defined by your grades, and your happiness shouldn't be either. Life is too short to spend it chasing perfection. So let's try to slow down and maybe take a breath. If you've been pushing yourself to the limit, remember to let go of perfection. Aim for doing your best, not being perfect. Set boundaries. Know when it's okay to stop. It's okay to say, I've done enough for today. Reconnect with life. Spend some time with friends. Do the things you love. Don't let school consume you. And remember your worth. You are more than your grades. You have so much more to offer the world. Just remember that. And I'll see you in the next vid. Guys, what a great outro! That was the best and totally not jarring at all. But you know, it's okay, cause it's not perfect.